Due to the terrible attack by Godzilla in 2014, the whole world remained in disarray. The government and public considered Monarch, an organization that researched titans like Godzilla, responsible for it. Everyone believed his research caused him to escape and attack humans. After that, he disappeared for about 5 years. At that time, a researcher named Dr. Emma, who worked for Monarch, lived with her daughter. She was watching news about Godzilla on TV when a huge earthquake struck. Emma then got a message from fellow researchers calling her to a research facility. In reality, Emma and her daughter were in a mysterious jungle in China, at Monarch's Outpost 61, where they were researching a titan. As soon as they reached the research center, they learned another big truth. Monarch was studying a titan egg that was about to hatch that day. When Emma and Maddie arrived, they saw a beautiful titan named Mothra emerge from the egg. But seeing so many people before her, Mothra grew angry and attacked many of them there. Seeing this, Emma approached to calm her down, but Mothra was so angry she attacked Emma too. Seeing her mother in danger, Maddie didn't retreat and ran straight to Emma. Emma then turned on a device whose frequency completely calmed Mothra, who now listened to everything Emma said. Emma had built a device that could either attract and calm any titan or make it very angry. Then some attackers stormed the research center and, while firing blindly, killed all the researchers there, leaving Emma and Maddie alive. Meanwhile, the American government wanted to crack down on Monarch because, despite having plenty of information about powerful titans like Godzilla or Kong, no one was killing them. That's why the government wanted to shut Monarch down. Japanese researcher Serizawa argued that titans once ruled this world and now want to reclaim it. Because of them, the world's balance has broken, so they cannot be destroyed easily, and humanity must learn to live with them. But the government was not ready to accept this. Serizawa then got an urgent message and left the meeting with his team as soon as he saw it. The government's biggest problem was that no one except Monarch knew how many titans existed or how to stop them. Afterward, Serizawa took his team to Colorado to meet a researcher named Mark, who was none other than Emma's husband, also a former Monarch employee. Serizawa told him Emma and Maddie had been kidnapped, and the kidnappers had also taken the device used to talk to titans. Hearing this, Mark got furious and said the device was called Orca, and that he had built it. Orca copies a titan's voice and broadcasts it as a frequency, making the titan believe another of its kind is calling to it. He said, "In the earlier fight with Godzilla, I destroyed it, so Emma must have rebuilt it. Now we have to recover Orca at any cost, because if someone activates the wrong frequency on a titan, it will believe it's being summoned, and hundreds of millions of people could die." At the meeting with Serizawa's team, Mark finally decided to support them and joined them at the Monarch facility to save his wife and daughter. Along the way, Serizawa told Mark that since Godzilla, around 17 titans had been found, though most were in deep sleep. To communicate with them, Emma had combined all their frequencies into one signal in Orca, capable of summoning any titan. Hearing this, Mark said they should kill those titans. But Serizawa disagreed, saying he and Emma didn't want them dead, since many posed no threat to humans. Now, during this conversation, they reached Outpost 54, Castle Bravo, made in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle so Godzilla could be specially observed from there. Now, after a while, there was a meeting between the American Army and researchers in the research center, where Colonel Diane Foster told everyone that a few days ago, some people had attacked China's Monarch outpost, led by a man named Alan Jonah. They imprisoned Emma and her daughter Maddie, and still have more work to do. And the biggest problem is that they have taken Mothra. In fact, Alan wants people to bow down to the Titans. But the American government will never let his plan succeed. And now they will launch an operation tomorrow morning to save Emma and Maddie. Meanwhile, Alan and his team had reached the Monarch outpost of Antarctica with Emma and Maddie, where Alan killed everyone present and took the place under his control. Inside the research center, he found a big secret. A very powerful titan, King Ghidorah, considered the most powerful of all titans, was trapped inside the ice. As soon as he arrived, Alan and his team started fitting a bomb in the ice above Ghidorah to free him, while Emma copied Ghidorah's frequency so it could be taken under control. Meanwhile, in the facility where Mark was, Godzilla suddenly arrived. As soon as they opened the facility's shield, everyone was stunned, because outside, Godzilla was leaving a blue light from his body and soon turned away. So everyone realized Godzilla was perhaps challenging a titan of his own kind to a fight. Seeing Godzilla's behavior, Mark told Serizawa and the rest to follow him and asked about his path, on which a researcher said that if they tracked Godzilla's route, he was heading to Antarctica, but everyone was scared to hear that name since something unexpected awaited there. Still, with no other option, they moved quickly toward Antarctica. On the way, Serizawa told Mark that a titan named Ghidorah, considered Godzilla's biggest enemy, was there. They finally reached the Monarch base in Antarctica. As soon as the army went inside, Alan's people attacked and started killing the soldiers badly. Mark, standing outside, knew Emma and Maddie must be inside, so he grabbed a gun and went in to find them, facing Alan himself alongside Emma and Maddie. Mark repeatedly threatened Alan to save Emma and Maddie, but Emma knew the army and Mark wanted to kill the Titans, which she was against, so she pressed a button that set off all the bombs, causing destruction all around. Taking advantage of this, Alan fled with Emma and Maddie and boarded his plane. Amid the destruction, the army was badly trapped. Mark tried getting them out with a lift, and after much effort, they finally escaped the facility. But another problem arose. Emma had turned on Orca's frequency, waking the three-headed dragon, King Ghidorah, from his sleep, and everyone's soul froze at the sight of such a dangerous titan. Everyone was shocked to see Ghidorah, and Mark and the researchers quickly boarded their helicopter. But before they could leave, Ghidorah unleashed an electric blast that destroyed the helicopter's system, trapping the whole army with Mark. Maddie watched the scene from the helicopter, and to calm Ghidorah, she tried snatching Orca from her mother's hand, so its frequency wouldn't reach him. In the chaos, Emma finally shut down Orca, calming Ghidorah slightly, but Mark and the others still weren't going to survive, as Ghidorah attacked their helicopter. Then Godzilla arrived, appearing between the two of them. Amid the destruction, Mark's helicopter was completely destroyed and about to fall from a cliff, as everyone was seen scrambling to escape and run away. During this time, he saw Ghidorah gaining the upper hand over Godzilla, but then the rest of the army's fighter planes reached there and attacked Ghidorah at the same time. By mistake, one missile exploded in front of Mark, badly injuring him and causing him to faint. Ghidorah then realized he could not compete with so many fighter planes and Godzilla at once, so he spread his wings and flew straight into the sky, heading towards the enemy. After a while, Mark opened his eyes and found himself in an army plane. At that time, a big question was rising in everyone's mind. Why did Emma press the switch that set off the bombs to wake Ghidorah? Everyone realized it may be that Emma and Jonah both wanted to wake all the Titans of the world, though no one had an answer for why. Now, they had to follow Jonah and Emma, who were heading towards Mexico, so the army began evacuating some Mexican cities. Then suddenly, an emergency call came in from Emma. She then revealed her biggest plan: to revive the Titans, since they could now maintain the world's balance. For so many years, humans had ruled the world, but as a result, did nothing good. Their actions increased the human population, spread more pollution, and, through war, slowly destroyed the world. But now, the Titans could save the world from destruction, since they were part of its defense system. And if the government eliminated them, the whole world would be drowned in darkness. Left alone, they could create so much life through their radiation, beyond anything imaginable. With Orca's help, they would also listen to humans, so people could finally live together with the Titans again. No one liked Emma's plan, and Mark grew very angry hearing it. But Emma wasn't willing to listen, so she said one last thing: that Monarch had built many bunkers to escape the Titans, and they should all hide there to save their lives. Then she cut the call. What she was about to do would kill millions of people. Because with Jonah, she had hidden in a secret place in Mexico and spread Orca's frequency there through speakers, causing fire to burst from inside a volcano, and from it, the great destructive titan Rodan emerged, witnessed by Mark and the other researchers from a distance. But another problem arose. As soon as Rodan awoke, Ghidorah began moving towards him, and it didn't take long to reach Mexico. If Ghidorah arrived, the whole city would be destroyed by his fight with Rodan, so the army had to evacuate everyone first. To buy time, they fired missiles at Rodan, driving him to flee, and his attention was successfully diverted as the army pursued him. Rodan, flying over the city, was destroying it completely, but the army's plan was to lead him to Ghidorah, so the two titans would fight each other. Soon after Rodan reached Ghidorah, a terrible battle began between them. Then Colonel Diane Foster got word from a companion that his plane was about to crash and needed help. The problem was that the hangar of the plane carrying Foster and the researchers wouldn't open, so no one could board. Seeing this, Mark went to the other side of the plane to open it. Just as Ghidorah struck Rodan, Foster received a message from the Army's chief officer saying a massive missile had been launched towards Ghidorah to kill him, and its impact would completely destroy everything within a 4-kilometer radius. So Foster and her companions needed to leave immediately. On the other hand, Mark succeeded in opening the aircraft hangar door so the military helicopter could enter. At the same time, Godzilla arrived and pulled Ghidorah into the water, severing one of his heads. Godzilla could have killed him, but the military's oxygen destroyer missile hit them instead, triggering a massive sea explosion. The explosion's impact defied military expectations. Ghidorah was unharmed, while Godzilla was severely injured. Ghidorah flew to the volcano top in Isla de Mara, Mexico, where Rodan emerged. Upon landing, Ghidorah regenerated his lost head and roared, awakening all titans from their slumber and triggering global destruction. Seeing this destruction, Madison was furious with her mother, Emma. According to Emma's plan, the Titans were supposed to maintain world balance, not destroy it. Meanwhile, the military could not understand how Ghidorah survived a missile designed to kill Titans. Dr. Chen explained that Ghidorah was not a native Earth Titan, but an ancient alien that fell to Earth millions of years ago, fighting Godzilla ever since. That was why the military missile had no effect on him. Gathering at the main military base, Outpost 54, USS Argo, officials reported that all Titans were rampaging worldwide. Mark noted they were obeying King Ghidorah as the new alpha, and only Godzilla could stop them. However, Godzilla was severely injured, leaving no way to stop Ghidorah. Elsewhere, Emma tried to explain to Alan Jonah that controlling Ghidorah destroyed the Earth rather than restoring balance. Madison overheard this conversation from the next room and planned a dangerous move. To stop the global destruction, Madison stole the Orca device from Alan Jonah's base and fled to Fenway Park in Boston, connecting it to the stadium's sound system to attract the Titans. Meanwhile, Mark and Dr. Serizawa led a team in a submarine, USS Blackfin, to search for Godzilla. Strong currents pulled them into an underground rift, where a drone revealed ancient temple ruins millions of years old, showing ancient people worshipped Godzilla as a god. Deep within the temple, they found Godzilla resting in his original lair, rich in natural radiation to heal his wounds. Since natural healing would take centuries, the fastest solution was triggering instant high radiation by detonating a nuclear missile right next to him. However, the submarine's damaged launch system prevented remote firing, requiring someone to detonate the nuke manually. Seeing no other choice to save the world and restore Godzilla, Dr. Serizawa took on the deadly task, knowing it would cost his life. But then, all the Titans began to calm down because of the Orca signal emitted by Madison. When news about the Titans reached Emma, she found out that Madison had fled from there carrying the Orca, and that she was the one who did all this. As soon as Ishiro Serizawa began to approach Godzilla carrying the nuclear bomb, the rest of the people got out of the water using a submarine so as not to get caught in the explosion. After advancing a little further, Serizawa finally made it close to Godzilla. However, the radiation there was so high that even though he was wearing a special suit, he could feel it clearly. After a lot of hard struggles, Serizawa finally detonated the nuclear bomb. The explosion burned and destroyed the entire ancient temple in the depths of the sea, while Mark's submarine managed to survive the explosion. Their plan succeeded because Godzilla had fully recovered and was now moving to kill King Ghidorah. At that time, Mark and his team reached the military aircraft, where they informed Mark that the Orca signal was detected from Boston Stadium and all the Titans were moving toward it. Hearing this, Mark said that they had to go to Boston immediately to support Godzilla in killing Ghidorah. To save Madison's life, Emma left Alan Jonah's base and started moving toward Boston. But meanwhile, due to the continuous frequency of the Orca transmission, a great danger arose in Boston that humanity would never forget. The entire city of Boston was covered in thick black clouds, terrifying Madison as she watched. Suddenly, King Ghidorah himself arrived there and saw Madison in the transmitter building. Madison managed to get out before the building collapsed. But now, King Ghidorah stood right in front of her. As Ghidorah began moving toward Madison, Godzilla arrived and immediately fired an energy blast at him. This time, Godzilla was not alone. The entire military force stood behind him. A fierce war broke out between Godzilla and Ghidorah, where Godzilla had become much stronger than before. But then, military researchers discovered a shocking fact, that due to the nuclear explosion, the radiation inside Godzilla's body had increased so high that in the next 12 minutes, he would explode like a nuclear bomb. This meant Mark didn't have much time to save Madison. Mark got off the helicopter with the military team and began looking for his daughter everywhere. In the middle of the search, he found the Orca in a damaged condition. It was extremely dangerous for them to stay in the middle of the two Titans' battle, so they began preparing to flee as soon as possible. At the same time, Mothra appeared at the scene and immediately attacked Ghidorah. But Ghidorah didn't stay quiet. He called Rodan to block Mothra. Meanwhile, Mark and the soldiers met Emma with a car and left together to find Madison. To save herself from the Titans, Madison hid inside a house. The atmosphere outside became even more terrifying because on one hand, Ghidorah kept pushing Godzilla, and on the other hand, Rodan became a life-threatening enemy to Mothra. With her cleverness, Mothra managed to defeat Rodan, but she herself had no energy left to fight. Not far from there, Mark and his party reached the house where Madison was hiding, but the house was already on the brink of destruction and finally collapsed completely. Amidst the rubble, Mark saw Madison's hand under several rocks. With the help of the soldiers, he moved the large rock, and fortunately, Madison was still alive. Even so, the main problem was not over. While fighting, Ghidorah flew Godzilla up into the sky and dropped him from a height, putting Godzilla in critical condition. Seeing this critical condition, Mothra tried to attack Ghidorah, but Ghidorah killed her in a single strike. After that, Ghidorah moved closer to Godzilla and used his three heads to absorb the intense radiation from inside Godzilla's body. On the other hand, Mark made a plan to repair the Orca quickly to distract Ghidorah and give Godzilla a chance to fight. He finished the repairs just as an army helicopter arrived. Seeing this, Emma urged Mark and Madison into the helicopter while she turned on the Orca and drove away to lure Ghidorah. Following the Orca's frequency, Ghidorah pursued Emma and blasted her vehicle, completely destroying it and leaving her critically injured. Ghidorah approached to finish her off, unaware of the disaster about to strike. Nuclear Godzilla arrived at that exact moment. The radiation within him had surged so drastically that his atomic pulse destroyed Ghidorah's heads one by one. Finally, Godzilla crushed Ghidorah in a final blow, while Mark and Madison watched from a distance. After a while, the atmosphere calmed down and Godzilla returned to normal. All remaining Titans gathered before him, and Godzilla prepared to fight. However, all the Titans bowed down. By defeating Ghidorah, Godzilla proved he was the true alpha and king of the monsters.